Scriptura, giving the scriptures and the scriptures, Voca Scriptura, hear the Bible come to life. Voca Scriptura, hear the Bible come to life. And behold, I am with thee, and will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land. I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken to thee of. Genesis 28, verse 15.
There is no place like home. I mean, there's just nothing like home cooking. There's nothing like your own bed. There's nothing like the yard that you're from. There's just nothing about the atmosphere of home. There is really no place like home. But for many reasons, we leave home. We leave home because of work, because of school, or because we're seeking a better life. Or maybe you just got married and you left home. Or maybe you had to run away. Maybe you've chosen to run away. Or maybe you had to leave because you're in some trouble. Whatever the reason that we may leave home, is it possible for God to still be with us or to even help us? Well, today we're going to talk about Jacob, who had some interesting experiences and he had to leave home. But God assured him that he would have been with him. Let's see how. Have you subscribed to our channel as yet? Jump on, give us a like, and click that bell. Now, Jacob wanted something as a young man. He wanted what was called the birthright. Now, back in ancient times, the birthright was a special responsibility, or a special blessing, or a special role bestowed upon the firstborn child. Now, this birthright would mean that the child would, when there was an adult, they would get inheritance. They would have leadership of their home, and they'll also have spiritual leadership of the household, as in they took spiritual responsibility for their house before God. Now he had a brother, Esau, who was the older one, and traditionally the older one would have received this birthright. But Esau wasn't very interested in having this spiritual responsibility and having this responsibility for the family. As a matter of fact, he even sold his birthright to Jacob over some food. Now, when the time came for the blessing of the birthright to be bestowed upon the firstborn son, Jacob had some other plans. You see, his mother also didn't want Esau to have the birthright, but his father wanted Esau to get the birthright. And it kind of got a little messy. But maybe in our lives, we're searching for something. We're searching for something meaningful, something valuable. We're searching for purpose. But sometimes we may not go about it the right way. Maybe like Jacob. Jacob and his mother decided they're going to play a trick. They're going to deceive their father. to get this birthright. Now, by this time, Jacob's father Isaac was pretty old. He was at the point where he was basically blind. And when the time came for Esau, that's Jacob's older brother, to get the blessing of the birthright, Jacob's father Isaac said to Esau, "You know what? Go cook some food and come and bring it to me in my tent." And Jacob and his mother heard this and decided that maybe it's time to act. Jacob decides, and his mother decides to dress Jacob up in goat's hair. Now the thing is, Jacob was a fairly smooth skinned person. For a man, he had pretty little hair. But Esau, his brother, was really hairy. So it's pretty difficult to trick your father, who's blind, and you have smooth skin. He's gonna know that you're not Esau. So they go before their father Jacob, and Jacob is dressed in goat's hair, and he says to his father, "Here's the food I prepared for you." Now, his father said, "You sound like Jacob, but this feels like Esau." And Isaac shrugs it off, and he goes ahead and bestows the blessing of the birthright on Jacob. That very night, Jacob is now sleeping in the wilderness, and he's literally sleeping on the ground, and his head is on a stone for a pillow. But that night he has a dream, and in that dream he's reassured that God is with him, because God reveals to him an interesting truth. He sees a ladder going from earth to heaven, and angels descending and ascending on it. And later on in the New Testament, Jesus describes this ladder as himself. So Jacob had a revelation of the work and role of the Messiah in that wilderness, in that deep, dark time when he himself was very far from God, when he himself had just committed an act of deception that was ripping his family apart. And here is an important lesson for us. God will not leave us forsaken. He will continue to try to reach us. And many times at the deepest, darkest, lowest point in our lives, when we think that we are totally far from God, we're totally far from home, God can still send us a message of reassurance, a message of peace, and a message of hope.
Have you followed us on Instagram or liked our Facebook page? Join us. Join the Voca fam. See you there.
In Genesis 28 verse 15, God leaves some beautiful words with Jacob. And in my mind, these words were to answer the doubt and fear that Jacob faced as he was leaving home. God says, "Behold, I am with thee, and I will be with thee wherever thou goest, and I will take thee again back to the place, back to home." Now, I don't know how far you've wandered from God. I don't know how far you've wandered from home. I don't know why you've wandered from home. But best believe that despite us being in a dark, far place from God, God can still communicate to us. God still wants us to turn our hearts to Him, and He wants us to come home. And He can protect us and guide us home. We have to turn to Him and trust Him. And many times, it's not necessarily at the high points where we really know ourselves or know God. It's at our lowest. It's at those deep, dark times where God reveals Himself to us, and we understand who we really are and are able to surrender and move forward with God.